Hello and welcome. In this presentation, we will take a look at the influence of Othello in the construction of nationhood and nationality in the time of early modern England. Elizabethan nationality. The concept of nationality in early modern England was based on religious and political aspects rather than ethnicity. However, the differences in ethnic backgrounds still played a role in the forming of Elizabethan nationalism. During the time in which Shakespeare wrote Othello, the notion of race and racism was being formed and also subconsciously applied. The way racial differences were portrayed in plays was through the use of makeup, exaggerated white makeup for whiteface, and dark makeup for blackface. It can be said that the monarch herself, Elizabeth I, was using makeup to make herself appear lighter in skin tone, as whiter, fairer skin was seen as high class and pure. Who was Othello? Othello was an appointed general in the Venetian army, and he was given civic nationality in Venice. He was a respectable individual who was fighting to protect the nation he allegedly was part of. While it is true that Othello was given civil rights in Venice due to his role as an appointed general in their army, as soon as he acts against Venetian customs, however, he is alienated by the nation and his ethnicity is used against him, whereas other characters do not appear to be subject to this kind of treatment. Interpretation of interracial relationships. This happened as soon as he married Desdemona. The response of the nation was undoubtedly negative. He was accused by Desdemona's father, the Senator of Venice, of using witchcraft supposedly as a black man would not be able to woo a white woman by himself. He was questioned of his intentions and whereabouts, assuming he was spending his time with Desdemona, when in fact he was called in for a future mission in Cyprus in order to bring clarity to the situation. Desdemona herself had to confess that she fell for Othello due to his courage and stories of battle rather than tricks and magic. Her confession added truth to Othello's words, as he was quickly doubted, accused, and questioned when on his own. This sparked a controversy of the couple, as they were announced official and due to marry. Betrayal. Additionally, he was betrayed by his officer Iago and tricked into thinking his wife cheated on him, not only resulting in him questioning himself and his position by convincing himself his wife had all the reasons to lay with somebody else as he grew older, but also that he must kill her and Cassio, his lieutenant, for their betrayal. The play can be seen as the nation's response to interracial marriage, a concept of which neither Shakespeare's Venice or Elizabethan ruled England was familiar with, but had a lot to learn from. Othello, although once a high-ranking general and a respected civilian, has now been shunned due to his marriage, or perhaps even allowing himself to think he was accepted in the nation as one of their own. Due to this one instance, and arguably the jealous implications of his officer Iago, who also wanted to lay with the fair and noble Desdemona but also envied Cassio for his high position as lieutenant with lack of experience, he ended up killing the love of his life as well as himself. Othello's suicide. His suicide can be interpreted as Othello's way of trying to gain back his place in society. He committed a treacherous act against his wife and also against the nation he is about to be exiled from, and he arguably seeks forgiveness and redemption with his own life as he kills himself. Othello, in his last moments, is becoming self-aware and recognizes his existence apart from the Venetian society. He acknowledges the disadvantages of being a black man in a society where white people are the majority, and realizes how an act of killing his wife, the daughter of the senator, is portrayed as by the rest of the people. Othello's suicide. Unlike other marital suicides in Shakespeare's work, for example Romeo and Juliet, Othello's death does not focus on his love confession and regret of losing his lover, but rather regret of acting against his nation, a society he was once part of and respected in, which now will exile him for eternity. Tragically, even after Othello's suicide and words of perhaps self-awareness or self-hatred, his status has been dissolved and his comrades estranged him, regardless, once again being treated as an alien. Why was interracial marriage seen as controversial? The negative response of Venice and also England to the interracial marriage is a way of the society stating that there is a wish to preserve the pureness of white British nationality. Perhaps exclusiveness towards other ethnicities was the inclusiveness of the English nationals being put together into a group of prestigious and elite members. Either way, during the Elizabethan era, it is clearly depicted that the English nationhood felt offended and repulsed by another person of a different ethnic background to be mixing with one of their own. A tragedy. The play is classed as a tragedy due to its outcome, a man being fooled and outcasted, still seeking acceptance he once thought he had from the Venetian society, ultimately rejected even at the price of his own life. Politically, the word tragedy is used to describe an event that had a great impact on the nation and the making of that nationality. Othello is a tragic story that shined light on the exclusiveness of British nationality and slowly helped the nation become more open-minded and accepting. In comparison, modern England has no issue recognizing interracial marriage as a normal concept. Thank you for watching.